Hello, everybody. My name is Kyle Carlin, and this is my final presentation for my Technology and Society seminar. So let's go ahead and get started. So I've titled it, What Kind of World Will My Children Live In? Technology is great when it works. Technology makes everybody's lives easier, but when it fails, it is a problem, a huge problem. So let's get started. We'll start with diffusions of innovations, which this can be referred as how quickly new ideas and new technologies are adopted by society. And some of the pros of this is technology is a huge aid in everything that we do, and it makes large tasks simple. I know from a personal experience being on the road with a band, all this new technology makes life on the road very easy. Some of the cons. It's a huge problem whenever it doesn't work. If one thing fails, it's a huge problem. And sometimes you don't know how to fix it. And not everybody wants the new technology. A lot of people love the old way of doing things. So, what will the future hold? As technology advances, people will find it more user friendly and accept it. I've noticed this with a lot of older people. They've really done a good job of making newer technology easy to navigate and user friendly. It will continue to improve our lives greatly, and there will always be problems with technology, so it's something we can't avoid. Next, we'll move on to digital and cryptocurrency. Some of the pros of this is it has a low transaction cost, and it's easier to keep track of since everything is digital and traceable. Some of the cons are is you have a loss of intangible stuff. You're not able to, count your money and feel it, so it's no longer tangible. And cybersecurity issues. And this is what I think crypto will look like in the future. I think it will eventually be the main form of banking because we are already getting there. Everybody's got a debit card and a credit card. So electronic transactions are becoming a thing of the future. Next, we'll move on to artificial intelligence. Some of the pros of this. We can program it to do human-like tasks, such as simple things. We've all heard of an Alexa and a Siri. Hey Siri, show me directions to wherever. So we are able to program artificial intelligence to do simple tasks, make shopping lists. And there are all sorts of applications, even with robots on an assembly line. And then some of the cons to this is we could become too reliant. We may become way too reliant on this technology and use it for everything, and then it's hard to get away from it. The future of AI. I did a presentation on a possible sentient AI earlier in the semester for a different class. So this is a topic I'm very familiar with. A sentient AI is essentially a robot that can think on its own. It can think for itself. And that's pretty scary when you stop and think about it. A lot of decision making could shift dramatically. Stuff becoming self aware and thinking for itself could have a huge impact on the way we see things. And this may be able to be put to some good, like predicting future trends, which some of this technology does exist but hasn't been perfected. Next, we'll move on to health and medicine. Some of the pros of this is the new technology is advancing people's quality of life. We are able to save lives a lot easier. A lot of the advancements in technology that we have made it easier to perform life-saving operations and really give people a lot more quality of life that didn't start out so fortunate. Some of the cons to this, though, there's a lot of testing involved, especially on, lab rats and different animals. And that's really the only way we have to perfect these methods. And lately, with the coronavirus and the pandemic, there's a lot of distrust in a lot of this new medical technology we have come up with. A lot of different rumors being spread. So we're really fighting a distrust from the public. Here's what I think the future of medicine will look like. Can we live forever? Probably not. But medicine will continue to advance. Right now we're starting to see more robotics being morphed into medical uses. People that are missing limbs, like war vets and etc., are getting bionic arms and bionic legs. And it's really aiding their quality of life. And I think in the future, we're going to perfect AIs that are able to perform life saving surgeries. Now let's move on to driverless cars. We've all heard of Tesla and these self driving cars and the problems that are arising from it. Some of the pros, they are able to transport people who can no longer drive. Some people that get older have disabilities. This would be the perfect solution for that. Since they are no longer able to drive on their own, the car can take care of that for them. And we may be able to perfect driving. And what I mean by that is, right now we have all sorts of car accidents and distracted driving and all these problems that arise with people behind the wheel. Well, if the technology improves enough, we may be able to eliminate this factor entirely. Then some of the cons. The AI decision making, car accidents. Right now, we are still working to improve how the decision making processes work for these AIs that drive these self driving cars. And one of the big scenarios that pops up is, let's say a self driving car is speeding down the freeway at 60 miles an hour and comes across a crosswalk and is unable to stop, and there's a grandma and a kid crossing it. Well, what does the car do? Does it swerve to avoid hitting the grandma, the kid? Does it kill the driver? Say both? A lot of morale questions to be asked. And here's what I think the future of driverless cars will look like. I think this will eventually be the standard for driving. We will see more sporty type cars, and this will definitely increase this, ego race that we see with newer sports cars. And we may even have our own grid system in the future. And what I mean by this is, you know, we're perfecting self-driving cars. There may be someday where we just hop in a car, it's all on a grid system, you say go, and it drives itself there. No roads, no nothing, just a big grid that it drives on. And now we get into technological determinism. Some of the pros. It provides a good pace to incorporate new technology. This provides a pace that newer tech catches on with people, how user-friendly it is. A lot of the good ideas, the good technology that works will, be incorporated. And a lot of the bad technology, the stuff that is less popular, stuff that doesn't catch on near as quick, is kind of thrown to the wayside. And some of the cons. We may get too used to the technology. We may become too reliant on it or not think about our day-to-day operations, just how much it has control over us. Everybody carries a cell phone or some type of electronic device nowadays, and everybody's pretty reliant on it. Another con is we may not be able to stop it. We may reach a point where we are so reliant on it, it is a point of no return. And here's what I think the future will look like. I think technology advancements might turn out to be really good. We're already improving everybody's quality of life. We're already coming up with new technologies and new ways of doing things and the technology to aid those processes. But we're also becoming too reliant. The technology has a lot of control over us, and it possesses the capabilities to do a lot of different things. So, in conclusion, technology is great when it works. And sometimes I wonder if we may be too reliant already, especially with the pandemic. Everybody is so used to seeing people with a webcam on a screen or calling and texting, and that's been the new way of communicating. We're losing that face-to-face interaction. Even though we've had to use these methods, I feel we may become too involved with these types of methods. And it seems like a majority of our problems with technology starts with the human mind. It's kind of weird to think about that. Yet so simple. A lot of our problems start with how people view things, how people build things. Humans aren't perfect, but yet we're trying to build perfect things. We're going to fail, we're going to have shortcomings, but we learn from our mistakes. But I don't think we'll ever be able to create the perfect, flawless technology. But I think we'll get pretty close. And that's all I got. Thank you very much.